Hey everybody, Nick here, and tonight we are going to look at Mezco's 112 Collective Pose Play Display Spider-Man from the movie Spider-Man Homecoming. So this is the box. It is a normal, typical window box with the side, and then on the back you got Spider-Man, the 2 alternate heads, the web wings, multiple hands, display stand, a couple armatures, some web lines, and one puzzle web line, and a couple pictures of him. So yeah, let's get this box out of the way because that's not what we're here for. We're here for the stand. Yeah, the stand. No, I'm kidding. So this is the typical stand that you get with Mezco figures. I like this one for, typically I like it with just a symbol, but I understand that like with the Spider-Man Homecoming, it actually helps show you where the figure's from, so that's not a bad idea. Okay, so actually let's bring that back for a real second. We're gonna throw this down here on the ground. And we're gonna move the camera down just a little bit. All right. Okay, so let's just get to the main man here, Spider-Man. Okay, so we'll start at the head. Beautiful detailing. I love the way the eyes look. And don't worry, we'll get to the other heads as well. All right, so typically I go over what's plastic and what's fabric first. So head is plastic, neck is plastic, hand, forearm is plastic on the side. These little cartridges here are plastic as well. The boots, plastic, and the feet are plastic. The rest is all fabric and some of that vinyl printing over top of the fabric as well. All right, so joint-wise, ball jointed head, ball jointed neck, shoulders, not butterfly shoulders, just typical shoulders. Elbow is double jointed, which I know everybody is going to be happy about that. Ball jointed wrist, double elbow, of course. You got your ab in there. Makes it look weird, and I'll go over that in a minute because that's a little gripe of mine. Waist is in there. Got your hip, goes out to there. Double jointed knees, everybody will be happy about that as well. No boot cut turn, so don't try turning that, that's very tight. And your typical ankle. Ankle has good range. I don't feel like anything's going to break. I know that sometimes there's been issues in the past about things breaking. So let's look over the figure real quick. I love the design. You can see the stitching here along the, if you're curious as to where the stitching is for the suit, it's down the armpit and around the back, and then back up the other side of the armpit and down the back side. Okay, so beautiful printing on the figure. I love the transition. The transition actually works really well between the suit, the fabric to plastic. Typically that looks really bad. I think they pulled it off well. I think they're getting better at it. In the beginning it looked pretty awful. This is getting better. And I like the printing on the entire suit. Works really well. Very true to the movie. So they did a great job with that. Okay, so let's put him down. And we will go over some of his accessories. Or we'll go over all of his accessories, excuse me. And some of you might not have a Spider-Man figure, so I'll go over everything because some of the stuff is redone. All right, so let's go over the heads first. So you get progressive eyes, which is basically it's the same head with different eyes attached to it. So this one has his eyes just a little bit smaller. I love how you can see the screen inside the eye. So we got that on there. So then the final eyes are really squinty. I personally would have liked the kill mode eyes with the red eyes. But those are 3 sets of heads you get. Hand-wise, you get 2, as I like to call them, let's see, 2 whip hands, shooting your webs. I'll come back to these when we talk about the webs. You get 2 open hands. So if you're going to pose them against the wall. I love the attention to detail. They actually show the web shooter palm. So I like that. I like that they put that in there. Nice attention to detail there. Same with this hand. which the hands are a little bit different. If you see them side by side, see the fingers on your right hand are a little bit more open, while the left hand is a little bit more clawed. So they're not identical. These fingers are a little bit more arched. And then you get one final hand, which is kind of weird that you only get one final hand, but this is the one that you use to hold the web line. So you got your fist hands, which you always get fist hands. Okay, so let's go over the web line, which is just an articulated web line. It's like a wire, if you ever had any kind of wire. So if you've never had a Spider-Man figure, they come with all of these. I never use it, but I can see how some people will. So this is cool. My favorite thing with the webs are the web shooting portions. So this is the first one you get. This one actually opens up like almost like a net, like it's grabbing something. And then the other one that you get, and they're both short. These two are very short. There's other Spider-Man figures that come with longer ones. So these are short. So the way that this works is, since, like I said, if any of you don't have a Spider-Man figure, maybe you're waiting on this one. The fantastic thing about this is, if you notice, there's a little cut in the palm of the hand. So what you do is you take your web shooter, you take the web, you put it right into the socket right there. I have yet to see anybody else copy this, and I'm surprised nobody else has, Hasbro or any of the other companies out there, because that's how you do it. That is exactly how you do a web from Spider-Man. It's hidden perfectly inside the hand. So you don't have to have it wrapped around the wrist. You don't have nothing but web coming out, and it looks like it's coming right out of the web shooter. That is A+ from Mezco whenever they do that. I love that. That's actually one of my favorite features about this Spider-Man figures that Mezco does. Okay, so let's just get this out because it kind of gets in the way while we're doing a review. All right. So the last accessory that it comes with is the web wings. So this is what they look like off of Spider-Man. So they're just plastic. You got a clip around the waist and a plug for your stand, you know, the normal Mezco stand that they give you, so you can plug it in. So the way that this works is you put his arms way on up. And you kind of have to take the fabric of this suit a little bit, and this is my idea, just pull it up just a little bit off his waist, because the belt clips kind of get in the way. So then you kind of push it around the back. It's not an easy thing to do, trust me. So if you're really wanting those web wings on there, you're gonna have to fiddle with that suit just a bit. Now, I don't know if the web wings are supposed to sit directly under his armpits or not, but I just like to put them a little bit behind his arms, because I don't think anybody's gonna pose your Spider-Man figure like this away from you. You're gonna have them out forward like this. So it hiding behind the arms, I think, is a little bit better than trying to shove them underneath the armpit. So, and plus, by me pushing up the suit just a little bit, the clip itself kind of pushes in underneath the belt, so you really can't see it from the front. So there you go. So that's how it would look with the web wings. I personally would not use them. At first when I got them, I was like, why didn't they just make it magnetic? The problem with it being magnetic is it would probably slip and fall. Like if you're trying to hold the weight of him off the magnet, it'd have to be a really strong magnet to keep it in place instead of using these clips. So there you go. So okay, so that's the review. Overall, fantastic figure. My only personal gripe is when you do arch his legs or do any kind of ab crunch, the costume itself kind of ruffles up. You see how like it kind of starts bunching down here and here, and I think that's because if you actually look at the figure, the crotch area here, I hate to, well, yeah, I'm pointing at it because this is a review. Crotch area here is very low. Like, I don't know if it had been tucked up a little bit higher, if this had been, like, if the fabric had just been a little bit shorter, if that would make a difference if it wouldn't bunch up as much, because it just overall you really can't, you don't notice it when he's just standing, because it just looks like his crotch is down here a little bit lower. But when you start manipulating him, then you start seeing where the folds are, and you probably could try to smooth it out as you go, try to tuck it in and hide it. But like, see how it's just like burp. That's kind of weird to me. I'll probably have Spider-Man. I'm definitely keeping the figure. I'll probably just keep him standing more like dynamically like that. Like, I know a lot of you guys like to pose. It's Spider-Man, so you guys will want to pose him in these crazy, and I think that you guys will be able to. Not me personally, because I'm not really good at that, but that's how probably he'll stand on my shelf. But yeah, that's my only personal issue with it, is it folds whenever you try to pose him in a particular spot. Now, overall, everybody's worried about the vinyl on his suit. That probably will crack over time. I'm not saying it's going to. I can't guarantee that it will or it won't. Only time will tell, and by that time, everybody will have bought theirs. But wear and tear. You know, if you're going to have them constantly pose like this, that's going to start to crack there. It's just the way that it is. It's just the way that fabric works. If you want to keep him mint, try to keep that stuff flat and straight. Do the typical museum pose that, you know, some people do. They just keep the figures, you know, static. That's the only way that I would suggest that you would avoid any kind of cracking and any kind of splitting issue. So yeah, there you go. So I know that people are going to probably wonder and ask questions. So the questions I asked was like, hey, what if I have another Spider-Man? So let's have some fun first. And we'll put on the classic Spider-Man head. So if you're curious if it fits, it does fit. Does it look kind of weird? A little bit, because these lines are darker and more pronounced than the movie. But is it doable? Yeah, it's doable. Do we have the other head, the more squinty-eyed comic version? We do. We can try that. I don't know if it snapped down all the way, but there you go. Now, I know that some of you, and if you were smart, you picked up the Homecoming homemade suit. So you got this guy here, which I'll be doing a review of. Don't worry, he's coming. I've been busy. So you got the homemade suit, and I know you would want to. You're like, well, you bought it because you wanted the head. So we're gonna pull that off, and this is a little tight because I don't think it typically is supposed to go fiddling with it this way, but. So you can have the Peter Parker, actor Tom Holland, head with the Spider-Man neck if you want, which doesn't look bad. I think that actually looks really well. I think that it works. Bring it closer for you guys if you want to see it a little bit closer. Okay. Now, if you want to get a little bit more drastic, you can pull out the head, and I did this earlier. Don't freak out. All right, so you can put on the human neck, and then you can put the human head on there. If you're curious if you could do it, you can. Now, I'm not sure exactly which way looks better. If it looks better to have his flesh human neck showing, his skin tone neck, human neck, with the suit that way, or if it works better to have the suit and then just his unmasked head over top. Do I think anybody's actually going to pose him without his mask on? Probably not. But it is a cool way to do it. It's a cool, if somebody wants to do it, they know they can. I think that it's going to make the homemade suit, if people passed on it, hang on, I'm going to pull this off camera for a second. If they pass on it, they're going to want to go back and get it. So I think the prices of the Homecoming homemade suit are going to jump due to that. So you heard it here first. If you really were on the fence, you may want to go grab it. And I can't get this neck back in. Let me tell you guys. There we go. Just need a little bit of force, which you really can't do in front of the camera because it just, next thing you know, I'll be knocking over the camera itself. This looks weird. There you go. All right. So, final thoughts. Fantastic figure. Yes, absolutely. Would I recommend buying it? Yep. He is iconic. He is Spider-Man. Is one of the more... He's from Civil... You know, he has a Civil War costume on. So, as much as it says Homecoming, it is the same suit that he was wearing in Civil War, that I do believe. So you have this movie version Spider-Man, which he looks amazing. Sorry for the pun, Amazing Spider-Man. He is amazing. He is worth the price. He's $80. He's a general release, so he shouldn't be too hard to find right now. Most retailers should have him. Mezco, I think he's probably waitlisted or maybe even sold out by now. But there's plenty of other avenues to find him. You shouldn't be having to pay overpriced right now, but he's definitely worth the price. Overall, he's going to be one of my favorite Spider-Man figures. So yeah, A+. Other than the whole fabric issue that I have, like in the crotch area, overall great figure. So yeah, that's all I got. See you guys.